crashed together, and we found a common bridge, and then Peter disappeared. Josh Jackson's gone, where's he gone? And then there was, no one would say whether he was coming back, of course, it's all part of the game. So, but when we reopened season 4, there is no Peter. And so there's still Walter, silly old Walter, working in the lab with Olivia and Jessica with Astrid. But no Peter. And so there's this emptiness, this whole, we're still doing cases. But then, of course, naturally, the presence of Peter starts to infringe in all sorts of odd ways. So it's not too long before he starts to manifest in our lives again in a very different way. It's kind of interesting, and I think the fans will love it. Absolutely, well, the way that I chose to do him was to play him. What he was a heavily institutionalised man when he came out of prison, and so I made him more obsessive compulsive, which is part of it. He's agoraphobic. He won't go outside the lab unless he has to. He's more erratic, more inclined to fly off at a tangent. So he's more overtly insane than he was otherwise, because there'd be nothing to stop him doing that. The two universes in the final, and said, well, okay, you've got a common ground now, sort out, stop the deterioration. That sounded like a pretty good place to start. And, with their brains and everything they have, they should be able to do it. But things still keep happening. And why? Because they're in a truce, they don't enjoy it. Why are these bad events still happening? Of course, there's a third force, there's an outside force creating more trouble. So now we have to join together against the outside force. Well, they could become accustomed to each other because, they're just facets of the same mind anyway. It's like coming to peace with yourself in some ways, but do you ever come to peace with yourself? I would hope that sometime before the series ends, we can have a moment of balance between the two men where they basically become one. That would be a wonderful thing to get to play somewhere down the track. It'll be a bickering bitch fight. It's just, I don't know about you, but those voices in their head that talk to each other all the time. Well, this is like a television version of it, except they're real and they get stuck into each other. More so than we can do it to anyone else we can tell ourselves off, we call ourselves names. Because for example, I got an outline of a script last night just before I came to town, and I got really excited about it because I don't get to see too much ahead of time what goes on. I know that the writers will continue to shock and surprise us, and the great thing about us is that they give us as actors, they give us challenges, like things that, oh my goodness, do I really have to do that? Or they'll throw something at us and say, oh, by the way, you're singing in the next episode. What? Or you're dancing, or you're going to be naked. What? Or you're going to skydive. And they do these things to us. And that makes life very interesting.